Hey, what's up guys, TechTitan here, and I am back again with a brand new video. Before I begin this video, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video and subscribing to the channel. I'm really hyped. We just reached 2,000 subscribers, so I appreciate each and every individual for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing. Follow me on Twitter. I'll leave my username right here. Link to my Twitter account right in the description. Follow me there. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask them there. Okay. So these are probably the best two phones that you can get for under $100. Now the ZTE Blade Z Max is $99. It's still under $100. All right. No, I'm just playing. So the Alcatel A30 Fierce is $80. Now I haven't really done a review on this phone, but let me tell you, it's a really competitive phone and it really competes with the ZTE Blade Z Max. So that's why I decided to do this comparison. So let's talk about the design. Let's start with the ZTE Blade Z Max, and I did a separate review on this phone. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. But let me quickly walk through the design. So this phone is primarily made out of plastic. So it has this nice texture on the back for a really nice grip. And the sides are made out of metal, which is a really nice, which feels really nice in the hand. And it does have a fingerprint scanner on the back, the dual cameras, a flash, and on the front you have your front-facing camera up top. You have your capacitive buttons, and on the bottom you have your USB-C charging port, a 3.5mm headphone jack. And you also have on the right-hand side you have your power button, which is textured, so you can tell the difference between the power button and the volume up and down. Nice. So let's talk about the design of the Alcatel A30 Fierce. So this phone is made out of plastic also, but the back kind of has this sand textured feel. And in terms of looks, I think the back doesn't look as good as the ZTE Blade Z Max. But in terms of grip, this is kind of slippery. The sand back is kind of slippery in my opinion. And you do have your 13 megapixel single camera. And it does kind of protrude a little bit. And you also have your flash, your fingerprint scanner under it. And you also have, you don't really have USB Type-C. Not really impressed by a micro USB. I think it's 2017. Even budget phones should go ahead and make the move to USB-C. And up top you have your 3.5mm headphone jack. Really glad that budget phones are keeping that feature. Hopefully they don't take it away. And on the front, which I think would be the most impressive thing about the design, you have your front-facing speaker. Now it is a mono speaker, so not really dual stereo speakers. So on the front you have your 5 megapixel camera with the LED flash. So let's talk about the specs. So the ZTE Blade Z Max, so it has a 6-inch full HD display, while the Alcatel A30 Fierce has a 5.5-inch just standard 720p display. So the ZTE Blade Z Max has a 16 megapixel sensor with a 2 megapixel sensor, so dual camera setup, and an LED flash. And on the front it has an 8 megapixel. And on the front it has an 8 megapixel camera, no flash on the front, which I'm fine with. 32 gigabytes of storage, a 1.4 gigahertz octa-core processor, and yeah, so overall decent specs for a budget smartphone. Now the Alcatel A30 Fierce, it has like I said, it has a 5.5-inch standard HD display, a 13 megapixel back-facing camera, which does protrude quite a bit. I wish it was flat, but oh well. And a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, again 32 gigabytes of storage, and a 1.5 gigahertz quad-core processor. So yeah, kind of similar. Now in terms of processing speed, the ZTE Blade Z Max does have the edge, but I think in day-to-day tasks it's kind of hard to tell. So let's do a quick speed test. Now this is not really scientific. I'm just gonna open day-to-day apps. Okay, so let's open up the phone app. Let's see, 3, 2, 1. All right, so about the same. Let's see. Let's open up the messaging app. 3, 2, 1. About the same. So really, it's kind of hard to tell the difference in performance, just because ZTE Blade Z Max has more cores. So we talked about design. We covered on performance, and day-to-day tasks. Like I said, they perform really well. They're really similar, and the ZTE Blade Z Max I think is more future-proof because it does have USB-C, while the Alcatel A30 only has micro USB. Again, I'm kind of disappointed. And they both have really fast fingerprint sensors for for a budget smartphone, so that's really nice. And again, so the Alcatel A30 is $80, the ZTE Blade Z Max is $100, so a $20 difference. And what do you get for that $20 difference? So you do get camera setup. Now, in terms of image quality, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but it adds extra features to the phone. Okay, so let me show you the camera interface on the Alcatel A30. Okay, so it has the Google stock camera interface, which is nice, but in terms of picture quality, I think the ZTE Blade Z Max beats it. So the color, the dynamic range, sharpness, contrast, exposure, I think overall the ZTE Blade Z Max looks better. But the camera on the Alcatel A30 Fierce is still a good camera for the price. Let's see. So it's usable if you want to post things on social media and things of that sort. But like I said, I mean, we're really comparing it to a budget smartphone. Let's take a picture. So 3, 2, 1. And it's really fast at taking pictures, as you guys can see. So decent camera on the Alcatel A30 Fierce, but the camera on the ZTE Blade Z Max is, in my opinion, better. The colors look better, the exposure, the contrast, the dynamic range overall looks better, and it also takes pictures at a decent rate. Now I think the Alcatel A30 Fierce takes it. I think the Alcatel A30 Fierce takes pictures faster than the ZTE Blade Z Max, so there's that. But overall, in terms of camera, I'm gonna have to give the one to the ZTE Blade Z Max. Now, in terms of speakers, before I even let you guys hear the speakers, the fact that they're front-facing on the Alcatel A30 is already a much better confirmation that it will sound better. But I'll let you guys hear how the speaker sounds. Okay, so before I give you guys a speaker comparison, I just want to say that the display on both phones, they look good, but the 1080p display on the ZTE Blade Z Max has a beat. One, it's a higher resolution. Two, the colors do look better. It is a bit brighter. But overall, they're both decent displays. I am kind of disappointed that the Alcatel A30 only has 720p displays, especially since the phone is 5.5 inches. The ZTE Blade Z Max takes this win easily, in my opinion. But yeah, let's play the video and see how the speaker quality sounds.
Things like that. And this thing is really weird to me. Now, I love the Chromebook Pixel, which was the last high-end Chromebook that Google made, but I was very careful to only recommend it to...
Alright, let me show you how the ZTE Blade Z Max sounds and give you my final words on the speaker.
Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and this is Google Pixelbook.
So it's a backward-facing speaker.
This thing was announced alongside the Pixel 2, and it's in Google's...
And you can kind of block it once you put your fingers in it.
The Home Mini and other things like that. And this thing is really weird to me. Now, I love the Chromebook Pixel, which was people who knew what they were getting themselves into. This Pixelbook, while it is an amazing piece of hardware, is even harder to get into.
Okay, let me give you my final words. So while the ZTE Blade Z Max is louder, the front-facing experience on the Alcatel A30 is just better. So it's kind of a toss-up. So it comes down to personal preference. Me personally, I'd rather deal with front-facing speakers than have a backward-facing speaker. Even though the ZTE Blade Z Max is a bit louder, the front-facing speakers just sound better to my ears. On the Alcatel A30 Fierce. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, they're both really good options. You won't be disappointed with either. But I have to give the edge to the ZTE Blade Z Max. To me, the better display, the better camera, just takes it for me. In terms of performance, they're really similar, and they both have fingerprint sensors, and they both have decent cameras. But the camera on the ZTE Blade Z Max and the display just are just better. But yeah, that's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, leave it in the comments. I would love to read your guys' opinions, and I like to respond to comments. But again, if you have additional questions, ask me on Twitter. Like I said, I'll leave a username here, one in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. We reached 2,000 subscribers. 3,000 is the next goal. So yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.